intro was a voice-only version of Dreamscape by 009 sound system that I knocked together in like 2 minutes. But I don't normally use Audacity. No, I operate this shit a little more professionally in Logic Pro. Here's the oldest session that I still have on my computer. It's for Kids with Guns from Demon Days, but everything is my voice, of course. The part that I would generally start with is the drums. We can solo those, and oh no, that's soloing everything. Except for some rare cases, I'll typically do each drum part separately just so I can make sure I get it right and also control individual levels if necessary. So I do the bass drum like this, and then the snare. Actually, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. First thing I would generally do is put the original song in the session as a guide.
Mesmerized.
Okay, not today, DMCA, motherfucker. And then first thing I figure out is what's the tempo of the song, so that I can sing along to it if necessary, and also maintain a tempo so that I can loop things properly. I try to analyze the tempo in Logic and find out that it changes bloody constantly for some fucking reason. So then I look up the tempo online and I realize that most of the BPM listing websites online are complete horse shit. So I just end up fiddling with it until it lines up. And in this case, the tempo is 106.25. That's when it started to properly line up. I don't know if Damon Albarn actually put the tempo as 0.25 when he originally mixed this. But for some I found that Demon Days songs generally had odd tempos like that. Let's see what other ones. Let's see what the other. I can't speak. Oh, Green World is 122.6. and Manana is 132.5. Every Planet We Reach is Dead is 88.15. Naturally, after you have the drums, you have the bass. Dum 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 do 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 boom 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 boom. With bass, I normally put a compressor on the voice to bring everything up to largely the same volume, because you can hear me really forcing those deep notes out of my throat. And there's the guitars, which don't really sound like guitars. I mean, regular guitars are very hard to impersonate with a human voice, okay? So some of that is pitched up an octave, because my voice cannot go that high naturally. Also cannot go that high. Technically, I think I can go that high, but it's just very painful and it's not as precise. Not quite. It's nearly 2 a.m. I probably shouldn't be doing that. If you're wondering what my vocal range fits in, or you couldn't tell already, I think I would probably count as a bass. Something I never thought I'd be saying, at least before I started singing regularly. Started trying to hit lots of high notes, and it really did not work. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? So that puts me in the company of folks like Leonard Corp's husband. How does this... Du hast mich. And chocolate rain, some stay dry while others feel the pain. I guess keep that in mind if you have any requests for songs that you want me to cover, because my voice can only do so much. Then of course you got singing like a human, which is typically the easiest part, because you're singing like a human instead of a fucking guitar or a synthesizer. They got something to say
now they're turning us into monsters. Turning us into...
I still think my Damon Albarn impression is absolute crap. Maybe it improved the more I sang this stuff, but it just doesn't have the rough kind of quality that he has, you know? Like, the only thing I think I have going for me is the I could relatively do an English accent because I'm Australian, so I'm already halfway there, And then most of these songs, I would recreate the reverb behind the vocals with my own voice again. So which of these is the reverb tail? I guess it's the. So I guess it'll be this one. So yeah, I just sing that instead of putting actual reverb on the voice because I wanted to take the everything is my voice thing as literally as possible. So depending on the song, I might also perform multiple drum things at once, especially if they're not overlapping drums, like that, like the bass drum and the snare of El Mañana. So this third drum bit was just a little thingo that sort of drifts in and out of the song constantly. If the song has panning, I'll do the panning on the vocals too. So I've got the organ. You can hear me hitting the edge of my range, and yeah. So I think this was the first Everything Is My Voice song thing where I started putting sort of more conventional effects on my voice. So at the end, when you have the thing that drifts in and out. So yeah, that is from the Distortion in. So yeah, that bit is actually distorted. And yeah, I would also do this sort of EQ on the voice if I wanted to muffle it, because Damon muffles his voice a lot on Gorillaz in general. On those Demon Days songs, there are a couple of tracks which have a lot like random audience or crowd noise. Obviously, I just do gibberish for that. Turn that up. So that's what I'm doing in the White Light intro. And there's me being fussy as hell and putting a second take right in the middle of the looping vocal, because I'm like that. Now, when it comes to not using built-in reverb in Logic and just doing it with my own voice and also echo effects, stuff like that. Once I got around to the title track, got an entire choir of people. And when it came to recreating reverb and echo for this entire choir, I just was like, fuck that. That's partly the point where I sort of gave up on being fully literal with the everything is my voice concept and just started trying to make my voice emulate things as best as possible. Now this Regis Machine song is heavily built around deliberate tempo changes, so that obviously didn't help. Look at this shit. Yep. This section here, it's all part of the same, and then this bit is also part of the same, but it doesn't really align with the original unless I bump it up a 1 in the BPM. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, this day the broke crosses! Oh! I thought my Zach De La Rocca impression wasn't too bad when it came to the softer, deeper voice bits. But then, of course, when he raises his voice and he's at full yell and shit. You justify those that died by wearing the badge and the chosen weight! You can hear my breath just completely running out here. So then, of course, the next part is, of course, a new take. Now, Rock Lobster is supposed to be in one consistent tempo, but because I guess the band weren't playing to a click track or anything like that, it goes up and down and up and down. So I was just like, fuck it, just pick an approximate tempo and roll with that. So these do not line up at all. You see, this is my ending of the song, and that was the actual ending of it. So I was quite happy with the lead vocal on this one. I added the old classic 60s style echo on it as well. Auction in the ocean. His air hose broke. Lots of trouble. Lots of bubble. By the way, of course, most of these vocal parts are definitely not the first take, because I'm a perfectionist and If it's like not almost the real thing, then I'm probably gonna hate it. And if it's like there's like a slightly off note, I was like, not re-record that. I like this first part, but just re-record this bit here. Yeah. Where's my mind? There's another one that doesn't stick to the same tempo, more for the same reasons as Rock Lobster. I picked up the tempo during the solo because it didn't feel lively enough otherwise. And this is another one of the songs where the drums were done in one channel. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my very basic and shitty behind-the-scenes video of these voice videos. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I could put something up on here in the meantime to stop it from becoming a ghost town while I work on the next Everything Is My Voice project. This is Airbag, track number 1 from OK Computer by Radiohead. That's right. OK Computer, but Everything Is My Voice is coming in probably like 3 months, so don't get too excited at the moment. Here's a sneak peek. Because I'm generous, I'm also give you Colin Greenwood's very minimal bass part as a treat. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So you expect to hear all that in whenever. Oh, the next song's gonna be fucking Paranoid Android. That's gonna be a motherfucker. That's the video. Bye.